Alright then, well this video is being recorded with a low quality webcam and it is shot in a mini studio comprised of a study room and a camera, of which is pointed at a whiteboard that I will fool to think you is 4 times larger than what it truly is, and portray a British accent. Yes, I am trying to make a Ken Robinson-like video. No, it will not be as high quality as his, just thought I'd make this clear. And no, I am not using a British accent. You're welcome. But that's besides the point. I would like to present a topic that has been fluent in our recent culture for the past decade: computer artificial intelligence. However, I would like to present it in a different light, a light that you may not have thought to look at it in. In addition to this, I would also like to cover some branching topics that run very parallel to this discussion, like social and economic impacts. Most of us would like to look at the future with regard to computer technologies in one of two ways: a happier, better society, or a completely destroyed society ruled by some sort of computer AI. I would like to state that both of these are rubbish. I think that we can all agree that these technologies alone are not going to bring us to some magical resolution in the world with flying cars, friendly computers that everyone seems to love, and peace. I mean, let's be honest here. But what about the alternative? Should we really be worried of Terminators coming back from the future to kill us all? Our future Skynet might actually be more of a data hog and a social depressant than a killing machine that we know it as today. Data is showing that while our future is most likely not filled with HAL 9000s, it's entirely possible rising computer AI technologies to have a negative impact on our society. However, this is not to say that they haven't or will in the future provide a positive impact. But as time and technology progresses, it is becoming ever more clear to our conscious minds that our world is more fragile than we ever thought before. A fragility we must avoid and a threat we must reevaluate. The threats that these growing technologies are presenting, while not urgent, are something we should definitely take into consideration when creating our future technologies. One of these threats is the impact of computer-intelligent chatbots entering our social niche as humans. I researched this topic in my paper on the rising phenomena of communicating humanoid systems and came up with some interesting results. Before the modern day, various people felt that human-machine communications are flawed and will never be real. However, today it is clear this is not the case. Let me give you an example. When you read your email or text messages, whether it be friends, family, or even business, is it not true that you have to take a split moment of your time to determine if that message is truly from that person? That it just may be from another person, being a friend in the passenger seat of their car, a secretary, or even a computer. In some cases, it is fairly easy to make this distinction, and in some cases, it is not so much. But take a friend texting for them, for example. Do you feel as if that message has the same amount of legitimacy as the actual person texting it? How about a computer? How about then? Does the legitimacy go down in this case? The problem is that when we communicate in this recently new technological world, we simply cannot know for sure who was talking to us. Back in the 1800s, it is easy for us to determine the legitimacy of someone's letter by their handwriting, in addition to their mannerisms and writing style. In today's world, we take away one aspect of our legitimacy checking system. But why do we do that? Because it is less work for us to type. However, we can still mostly tell by our friend's writing style that it is them over closed visual communication. But what if I said there was a technology out there that can replicate your friend's writing style to a T, and it learns every time your friend uses it? Ever heard of an iPhone? A device that allows us to be so lazy we can order it with our voice to send a text message? Have you ever thought to yourself and reevaluated the legitimacy of your friend's text with this new technology out there? Food for thought. Let us also take companies like Apple, for example, a mega corporation with a lot of its developing investment money directed towards speech recognition software and human-like computer AI technologies. It is clear this technology isn't just something on the planning block. It is something that is out there and being actively sought after by many companies around the world for whatever purpose: entertainment, security, and even mischief. Believe it or not, companies are dumping hundreds of thousands of dollars into these technologies, and whoever can get their hands on the most convincing software will make millions. But what if certain mischievous people get their hands on this technology and use it for advertising and fraud attempts? Well, they're getting close. One example I thought was particularly interesting was described in an article written by Kevin O'Brien, a writer for the New York Times. He brings up studies done showing that the use of computers used to take care of automatic operations, such as emailing and phone answering, has grown on such a large scale that they are actually starting to talk to themselves. Not only are they talking to themselves, but they are talking a lot. According to the article, these machine-to-machine communications are taking up terabytes of usable memory on networks that could be used for other things. Others say the number of machine-to-machine devices using the world's wireless networks reached 108 million in 2011, and will at least triple that by 2017. I just find it fascinating that due to our lack of motivation to pick up a phone anymore is actually leading us to creating devices that drain our own resources that we created. I continued my research wondering if there was any way we could possibly measure our current status on computer AI abilities at fooling humans they were real. This aspect of the controversy is one of the largest and makes some people even question if computers are reaching a point of reality, a state of being quote-unquote real. So real, in fact, that we feel they actually have intelligence. Well, there is such a test referred to as the Turing Test. Its basic objective is to pit humans and machines against each other in a battle of language. Over a closed visual communication system, like instant message as you know it, judges talk to both a computer chatbot and a human. It is up to them to decide which is the human and which is the robot. The scary bit is that computers in recent years are only a few points away from completely fooling the judges. So, I thought I would perform the experiment myself, see if it held up. I performed it with 4 University of Arizona students with the following outline. Through a basic chat client, during 2 separate sessions, I would have the participant talk to a human and a chatbot. Who went first was randomly chosen. Each conversation would last about 5 minutes, and the human was always named Alex and the computer was always Cleverbot, however she was always named Jessica. At the end of them talking to both quote-unquote people, I would ask them not to say either one is, but did either or sound like a computer, and if so, what is your confidence level in your answer between 1 and 10? The results were quite interesting. The first male was a freshman and actually guessed the human was a computer and the computer was a human, with confidence levels of 6.5 and 7, respectively. Not a great start. He said the actual human had a generic name and generic responses, while the computer did not give a name and mentioned someone else's name. However, after the test, I found that this student was not a big texting person and did not use online texting a lot. The second male to take the test was a senior, and guessed both entities were human with a confidence level of 7 on the computer and 10 on the human. He stated he felt less sure about the computer because it messed up with the last sentence due to an error on Cleverbot's side. However, he actually read it as trolling when a human says something non-human to mess with strangers on the internet. Also, this participant, on the other hand, did use online texting more often. I then tested 2 females to see if there were any correlations to gender. The first female was a freshman and guessed both entities correct, but with a lower confidence level of 6 on the computer. This states that the computer, while flawed enough to still be called a computer, still had almost a 50% chance of fooling her. She stated the computer used big, confusing words and that the human conversation felt more natural, probably due to an uncanny valley conversation with the computer. This person has also texted a lot in the past and is used to online texting. The last participant was also a freshman female who also guessed both entities correct, but with a higher confidence level of 7 on the human and 9 on the computer. She stated that the computer's answers weren't coherent and didn't match, to quote her. What's also interesting is that she had more confidence in the computer being a computer. She too was texted in the past. From the test, 2 out of 4 people were unable to differentiate between the 2 entities. This gives me a strong feeling that in today's time we should be a little worried about this technology creeping up on us. Implied by the evidence collected from other sources, it does seem like something, vicious or productive, is completely possible to pop up within the next 20 years, at the most. Due to this debate being a projected issue that takes place in the future, it is hard to say exactly what will happen, but I feel it is not going to go in the direction we hope it to go. I hope this information provided a new light for you on this subject, and that we might take caution in pushing forward with this new technology. I would hope to see that future engineers try to utilize this technology with more efficiency and care so that we can preserve our traditional living as it is. Although we may not see eye to eye on this topic, I do thank you for your time in the matter, and I hope you have a very good rest of your day.